Overseas study has long been a hallmark of Michigan State University. But in a recently developed program, students from the College of Communication Arts and Sciences spent the summer in India, not only learning about the culture and rapidly growing media industry, but also producing their own Bollywood film, complete with a dance sequence under the guidance of India's best producers, directors, and choreographers. Here's a look behind the scenes of this life-changing opportunity.
Getting ready to come to India was like one of the biggest struggles I've ever had in my life.
I had a mixed bag of emotions. I was feeling excited, I was feeling nervous.
You know, when I would explain it to my friends and stuff, like, oh, I'm going to India, it was exciting.
I made a lot of lists and I wrote a lot of things down. I kind of freaked out because it was my first time leaving the country.
I'm going to India, like, what the heck am I doing here? Why am I going here? And, you know, little did I know it was going to turn out to be one of the greatest experiences of my life. We made it to Hyderabad. We made it! And now we're waiting for a ride, and then we're off to the film city.
Arriving at Ramoji, I had no idea what to expect.
Ramoji Film City was definitely beyond my expectations. It's such a magical place. Just the glamour of it all was really, really overwhelming.
The place is magical. And I think it's really, really interesting that film cities are so popular in India, but Ramoji is definitely the most popular, and I'm so honored that we even got to go there.
There's nowhere else in the world like this place.
So our first week there, we kind of focused mostly on lectures, getting to know our grounds and the hotel, and just all the different places we had to use and explore as far as sets.
We'd get up for class and we'd get on a bus, and the bus would take us to this corporate building.
And we would go up to this conference room and get lectured by these incredibly knowledgeable people.
These are the best in the industry there. And it was just a plethora of knowledge that was thrown at us just within a few days.
We had specific lectures on screenwriting, on editing, and we did a workshop with Mr. Patil, who is a nice character.
So Patil took us in front of the great big Ramoji Film City sign, and we got to do a couple practice shoots with our first crane.
That was basically kind of like our first time working together around the camera, and we got to explore equipment that we haven't used before.
Are you happy?
Are you happy?
So we took a small tour of the Ramoji Film City prior to writing the actual script, and a lot of the stuff that we saw there was really inspirational.
It is itself like a city of its own.
It's so beautiful, and it's like a combination of all the good things of India.
Today we are doing a tour of the entire Ramoji Film City, and we just went by most of the sets. We went to an airport, we went to a few temples, and now we're here checking out the gardens.
They have amusement parks, they have an adventure park, they have sound studios and equipment studios. And
Ramoji Film City had a whole television station that just had so many channels coming out of it, so many news broadcasts, and they were in every different language you can imagine, broadcasting all over India.
we went to Golconda. That was our first trip leaving Ramoji Film City. So it was our first exposure into India. It was crazy because we were introduced to the Traveler, this tiny little bus that we all got packed into. And then we went to the museum, which is one of the largest museums, I believe, in India.
Golconda Fort, which is right in the city of Hyderabad, was the first fort that everyone got to experience in India.
I loved Golconda. We had a lot more freedom, there were a lot less people, which was rare in India.
We might have broken a few laws to climb a few fences to see the view of Hyderabad from Golconda,
I love to visit forts at dusk. The sky just becomes these beautiful colors, purple, pink, and you can see the silhouette of the fort. It was just that kind of like ethereal experience of just walking out and seeing this beautiful fort, listening to the call to prayer, and just being all together. I feel like that was the point where we all started to bond, and we really felt like, wow, we are in India right now.
We've come to a village of all female filmmakers and writers and producers, and it's quite something.
The mainstream doesn't belong to more than a few million people. So 1.1 plus billion people are outside the mainstream. And then why is it that we are calling the other stream as the mainstream? We are the mainstream, actually.
So the women of Pastapur, a lot of them are illiterate, a lot of them were single mothers, a lot of them were really involved in agriculture.
This is a rare variety, and it is very good for the mothers, those who are lactating their child.
What made them different was that they also were incredibly well versed in our art, so broadcast media and creating short films and documentaries about what it is that they know.
There was also a school on the land. Obviously there were kids and I was like, oh my God, I have to go see them.
We witnessed a water ritual where they were essentially praying for rain.
All the kids were in a big circle, and two students held a big bull, I think it was a bullfrog, that was hanging upside down with leaves on a stick. And they had drawn a circle with chalk, I believe, around, and they were blessing the frog with water, pouring water over themselves and their teachers, and they all found it very funny. They were all laughing.
They did this ritual, and after we were done interacting with them, we walked away, and within 10 to 20 minutes, it starts to rain. And as it's raining, it was like a stampede of kids, and they're all running to us and smiling and screaming.
I don't know if maybe it was just the day or the fact that we were there, but that was a really, really magical experience.
After Hyderabad was when we really kind of stepped into the real world of India. We were in Pune.
Pune was probably my favorite city that we visited because it was like the first time we had really gone out onto the street and got to sit down and kind of soak in the culture.
I really like Pune. Pune has been an eye-opening experience, and the traffic's crazy, and I really enjoy the city life. It's all hustle and bustle.
There were scooters, rickshaws, and motorcycles everywhere, on every corner, on every parking spot. What is a parking spot in India? I don't know.
Yeah, Pune was kind of just it was an interesting leg of the trip because I felt like I soaked in the most.
What we are looking today is the marvelous collection, which is just 12% of the entire collection. So it took more than 60 years for him to put together a collection of about 21,000 pieces.
Luckily, we had some people from the museum take us back into a back room where they were keeping a lot of swords that they hadn't put out on showcase yet.
And I thought it was really cool that we actually got to go and see what was, what the museum didn't have on display. I thought that was really, really special.
It was cool. People held those thousands of years ago, and then we touched them.
We're hoping to go to the Film Institute this afternoon, pending some complications.
There's a strike going on, so Amal with his, of course, incredible connections is going to sneak us through.
Well, from my knowledge, the students are striking right now because they don't approve of the new director that's coming in. So yeah, that's what's pretty much going on.
When we got there, we were able to see actually some really old cameras. One of the unique things about the Film Institute is that when they're training their students, they use, older film. They don't use like digital cameras and all that stuff yet. And I think that gives them more of an appreciation for what we have now. They really, really know how cameras work, the science behind it, and I think that's really important, and I think that's something that's lost on a lot of students in other parts of the world.
Synagogue was arguably my favorite place that we went to.
Driving up into those mountains though, you're a little weird because there's a lot of turns, sharp turns, and fallen boulders, and you're just like terrified a little bit.
You have to kind of take a drive up in the hills, which was a really nice experience for some people, not for others.
So the place is called Sinhagad, and it was one of the premium forts under Shivaji. It was more of a defensive fort, to the best of my knowledge.
It was very kind of like a magical day because it's during monsoon season, so it was very lush and green and misty.
This is the most amazing place I've ever been. Look at this view. Well, we drove up to a fort and then climbed the rest of the way, and it's phenomenal.
It was really, really cool because then it started raining and we had to take shelter.
We went under this little hut and there was a couple with like cats who made chai and food.
And so we got to try some really, really great food that they made for us, and the chai that they gave us was just, oh, I just live and die for that stuff.
That was pretty cool to see the people up on top of the mountains who make a living there.
From there, we got to go to Mumbai.
So we were able to go on set of one of the big soap operas in Bombay, and we were able to meet the director himself, Mahesh.
Very nice to have you all on my set. I welcome you on behalf of my company for television. And let's proceed and have a look at things. Come.
It was just really, really cool for me, never having been on a set before, to just see the interaction with everyone, how much goes into just doing one scene.
We got to meet the actors that are like super famous there, and like it was crazy because I had never heard of him before, and I'm sitting here I'm like, oh wow, like I can see why he's famous, but there's so many people that never get to meet these people.
Once we left Pune, we went to Delhi, and in the midst of getting our film idea together and script writing and meeting about those things, we're also moving to an entirely what seemed like a different world.
Delhi was a different experience. That was where we met Archit though. He was really excited to show us a little bit of his hometown and show us what Delhi life's all about.
We decided that we all need to go shopping today because we weren't finished shopping for all the people that we need to get stuff for.
Because they need to have a piece of India.
We could be sitting in a nice air-conditioned 5-star hotel on our last day,
and a
but
king-size bed with a bathtub that
and movies
could fit
and
4 people.
Full fridge of nice ice-cold beverages, but
And
no.
bacon. But no, we're getting gifts for our family and friends.
So you better appreciate this, okay?
Yeah, and if you don't like it, you better...
At least pretend like you do. I don't know where we're going or what we're doing, but we're taking rickshaws, so this will be fun.
Beep, 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 beep. So when we went to the school that Archit's parents own, I have no idea what I expected.
We had a very, very welcoming ceremony. They traditionally put flowers around our necks.
Thank you. We're visiting different classrooms and different kids. We've already seen a classroom of 3-year-olds, and they sang us a song, and we got these lays, and we're eating more food, of course. But yeah, so far it's been nice. I mean, it's nice to see kids here. It's nice to see them learning.
This is completely a new experience that we've added for the past 2 years in the study abroad program, where you get to learn how education system is in India and how high schools are run and what teaching methods we use and how it is different from what you guys study back in the US.
Hi, everybody.
We got to witness a bunch of different dance styles that the students could perform. They're all so incredibly talented. We saw a little bit of theater that they were doing up on the terrace, and we're all very sweaty. It's very hot here in Delhi, but it's so nice to see a school that's so encouraging with creativity. That it's brilliant.
We went to go visit Agra Fort, which a lot of people don't know is there. They always assume that it's just the Taj there, but there's also this massive, beautiful fort. And it's a great opportunity to take photos from the Taj at a distance.
Taj Mahal is the most famous visit site in the north part of Asia. So I think everyone in the world knows these places.
It's a lot different than I expected it was going to be. I mean, it was great to see in person. It was spectacular. It was beautiful.
I really enjoyed going to it, and I'm really glad that we went and did it. Because if you go to India, you kind of have to go and see the Taj Mahal. I would have been asking them all, like, why aren't we at the Taj Mahal? Why isn't that on the list? But it was cool. It was nifty. Crunch time, so I'm kind of terrified, but like in a good way.
I'm most excited to work with everyone for 15 hours straight every single day and see their worst sides.
It feels good to be back, and I'm ready for the production week. It's going to be really, really stressful and hard, but now it comes down to what we all came here for, and that is to make a movie and make a music video and promotional stuff. So wish us luck.
One of the first things that we did when we got to the Ramoji Film City was start learning choreography. So we met this awesome choreographer, and he started teaching us these really intricate moves.
I grew up dancing my whole life, and when I heard we were going to be doing a Bollywood music video, I was really excited.
We had to learn the dance while we were still in Hyderabad, and then practice it while we were in Pune and Delhi. And then we came back, we had one review session, and then we went straight into production of the music video.
We had a 12-hour dance shoot, which actually turned out to be one of my favorite days. I had so much fun.
It's 6:30 in the morning right now, and we're here about to rock this dance out, yeah! Got all of our production people over here getting ready to rock. Cameron, and here's our wonderful crew. These guys are gonna be helping us out this week. You guys ready to do some dancing today?
I am so excited.
6:30 in the morning, woo!
Where'd I go? From where?
I have no idea.
We're getting our makeup done for the dance video. This is my favorite part and the only good part.
Shooting the actual music video and being able to just dance all day was fun. I loved doing that. And in the cool locations and being filmed, and we were in these extravagant outfits, and the whole experience was just really fun.
Wow, we're breaking the dance up into tiny little pieces and doing it over and over again. So that way we can practice a ton and still mess up, but we look great. And it's about probably 11 o'clock. We start at 6:30. We've gotten through maybe 30 seconds of the song.
So I'm the cameraman for your guys' dance video. That's Chaya Chaya, and we're doing it on the go. So it's been fun. It's been a fun ride so far.
How have you guys enjoyed today's music video shoots?
Pretty well.
Ready? Very good.
It's very hot and I am sunburned.
Let's do it!
The dancing part is very interesting, but I mean the weather is so hot. I can't enjoy this. I'm sorry. Oh, we're at the train station right now. We're about to shoot our last segment of the music video. We're about to shoot this train station.
scene, which is like the most notable for this music video because the original was shot on a train itself, a moving train, I should add.
I was kind of nervous. I didn't know what was really going to go on, but it's been a riot. He keeps showing us the shots, and Archie's been amazing. So I can't wait to see the final product, but like just the clips that we've seen so far, I'm really excited to see how it comes together.
We walked into this equipment room one of the first days, and I think all of us were just so, I feel like our bodies were taken by a wave and we were underwater. We had no idea what to expect, and there was all these different lights and all these different stands, and it was just so much equipment that we had no idea what to use.
We're in the equipment room, so we're kind of getting a sense of all the different lighting we can use, the gels, flags, tripods, cranes, like tons of stuff in here that is accessible to us. So kind of like a kid in the candy store a little bit because there's so much stuff here that I have never used, nor do I know how to use. So it's a bit overwhelming, but I think it'll be really interesting to learn all this stuff and incorporate it into our overall final production.
So do you have a decent idea of just the basic stuff that they have? We'll go to the warehouse so you can see the scale. Then I'll show you what we will be using and then we can keep on.
The biggest crew I'd ever worked with was maybe 5 people, including actors. So this was amazing. We had makeup people, we had the people operating the camera and the dolly and the crane, and we had lighting and we had audio. Everything that we needed was at our fingertips.
Seeing all the behind the scenes stuff that you wouldn't think about, like putting a crane together and putting a dolly together, all of that I never would have thought of before.
So this is the beginning of day 2, and I can't wait to see what we end up doing. Jonah and Aaron are destroying it with our director and DP, and Amal is actually directing this scene, which is very cool. So it's really nice to see everyone working as a team.
I want to perfect, my communication with everyone and the skill and stuff. I want to get better. I want to learn from this experience.
Great, all sweating. You think the things that I have to do for my students.
Today's shooting went a lot better. We were actually on time, which feels pretty good. We don't have to rush and can enjoy, making it. We're on our last shot right now, which is the crane shot for the scene, and then we're moving on to the park scene, which will be a lot of fun.
It was very intimidating at first, being around people who knew what they were doing and knew how to work cameras, and I didn't know any of that. And I think that I kind of just made my way, trying to figure out where I fit in.
I'm always ready for acting. I am on it. So is Jessica, my lovely co-star Denise. We're gonna kill this scene.
I am so much ready because I'm gonna run as fast as I can and drag Karen with me onto the swing so she can live.
So it was really interesting just seeing how everything's put together and how much work goes into making, even just 5 minutes of a film.
I feel great! We did it! We're not really done, but we did the hard part. I feel so good. I'm really excited, and we get to edit for like 72 hours straight, and I'm so pumped.
What and what is your profession?
So Aaron and I got very, very deeply acquainted with RAFT, which was the Ramoji Academy of Film and Television.
Me and Elise spent a lot of time in the editing bay with the company of a few good souls who wanted to help out as much as they could. As soon as we were done shooting and exhausted, we would go back to the hotel, take a 10-minute nap, if that. I don't even think Elise napped. She's like a freaking machine.
I think our longest night we were there until 3 in the morning.
We are back in the editing suites. We left at, what, 3 in the morning last night? This morning, and now it is currently 8:30 in the morning, and we're back. Going on a few hours of sleep, which is nice. Hard work pays off, right? High five into the camera. Oh, I got a poke. That's not good, guys.
We showed the film to Manvisor, and then that was like the cap on it. You know, that was like, okay, you guys are done. And the next day we went to the corporate building, and we went to the very top, and it was the premiere for Ramoji himself.
It's pretty nerve-wracking. All these people who've seen millions of films and judge them every time they see them are going to look at the stuff that we made. But it's also pretty exciting.
To introduce Mr. Chairman, Mr. Ramoji Rao, creator of the film city.
So of course, the Ramoji Film City has been the perfect venue to start their training. And overall, I think they have learned a lot during these 20 days that they have stayed in the film city.
Thank you.
Because when you having come all the way, this is what we hope to send you back with the kind of a thing. So that's why I'm asking you whether you felt that your trip was worth your while, and whether you had your expectations fulfilled.
India is a magic country.
I don't think anyone besides the people who are actually there will truly understand the crazy, intense, and wonderful experiences we went through.
I was only there for 7 weeks, and I learned more than I had for the 2 years I was at MSU.
It opened me up to so much more. It made me realize how much more is actually out there.
We definitely saw the worst of everyone, and I think we all learned that we know very, very little.
It definitely reaffirmed for me how much more comfortable I am with traveling, but it also challenged me in that there's a lot of things I don't know.
There's just so much more that we have to absorb, and we're never gonna stop learning.
India, believe it or not, taught me less about the world and more about myself. And I think that it's priceless.
You're just constantly experiencing something new.
India taught me a lot about myself, a lot about my personality.
I grew as an artist, I grew as a person. I think the group of people that we had were really, really special, and I think everyone brought something really new and really different and really powerful to the table.
Just seeing how other people adjusted to a new atmosphere really left an impression on me.
I'm forever grateful for the things that a mall was able to provide for us, and I'm forever grateful for my mom letting me go to India. I know that was a tough one.
I was totally put out of my comfort zone being with a bunch of media students and being just plopped on a set and expected to do all these things.
It's those things in life that you got to do. You got to throw yourself out of your comfort zone, and you got to do things that most people don't get the chance to do when the opportunity presents itself.
I left and I just felt I did it. I did it. I didn't quit. I made it through. I toughed it out. And I learned a lot about myself.
And this is something I'm going to remember for the rest of my life.
Go to India.